This is the oldest lighthouse in the Americas. Dubbed the Canadian Statue of Liberty, this iconic tower was once fueled by fish oil and used cannon blasts as a fog signal. And this lighthouse is surrounded by sharks. Nearly 15 kilometers offshore, this lonely island is notoriously known as Canada's white shark hotspot. But the sharks aren't the only eerie thing about this lighthouse. Over the next 4 days, my buddy Mike and I are paddling over 100 kilometers of Canada's east coast, exploring these remote lighthouses and camping along the way. Our journey starts in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
The York Redoubt Battery from World War II or sometime before then, but just would have been artillery guns protecting the port from enemy vessels. And a good old-fashioned game of pew-pew for keeps.
You see up here the transition from that Maguma to the Batholith. We just got to an obvious transition from the country rock, which is the continental crust around here, to the intrusive igneous rock, which we're going to be going through for the rest of the trip. I'll be talking about this more later, but behind me is the Maguma terrain, a metasedimentary rock, and the intrusive igneous rock is the South Mountain Batholith, which is a big slab of granite. Stopping for a quick bite to eat in this little secret cove. I don't know how you'd get to this without a kayak. I guess there's no mustard ration with all this mustard.
Yeah, 0 calories in it either way.
So, oh, there, that'd be Eastern Passage?
Eastern Passage. Is there a lighthouse at Cow Bay or what? No, that would be Heartland Point.
Heartland Point, there's one on Devil's Island. Tonight, we're trying to get to Sambro Island, which has the oldest lighthouse in all of North America. It's about 25 kilometers from Halifax, where we started. A lot of open coastline to get there. It's pretty dynamic.
Yeah.
We've laid eyes on Sambro Island.
Either cut across and sort of continue that hand railing near Ketch Harbor, or we can just kind of beeline across the Sambro Island. We're gonna be on the exposed side of it.
How far of a beeline is it?
I don't know exactly, like 5-6 kilometers maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I think the weather's slowly getting worse this afternoon.
The wind and waves are picking up. It looks like a storm's in the horizon there. My rain jacket is too deep to get, so if it rains, I just gotta accept it. A helicopter just buzzed over us and landed on Sambro Island. Look at the foundation. You'd have to think that that's rock from the island. Cedar shake shingles. Nice.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah, dude. But stuff weathers here pretty good in the salt, doesn't it?
Yeah. We made it to the Sambro Island Lighthouse. This is the oldest lighthouse in North America. It was built in 1758, so about 267 years ago. Back in the day, they didn't have money to build it, so they taxed vessels that were coming into the Halifax harbor, as well as taxed imported alcohol. With that came the first lighthouse that's still standing. It's gone through a lot of renovations. It's been built higher. It's been repainted. Time takes a toll. We're out on the Atlantic Ocean. Total exposure here. Big storms could really put a lot of pressure on this place. That's nasty in there.
Oh yeah.
This lighthouse was automated in 1988. So all that time between 1758 and 1988, you had a lighthouse keeper who lived on the island in this place, manning the lighthouse. Him and his family would live out here. The dwelling here wasn't kept up like the lighthouse. And it smells like crap. The evening has gotten a lot different than when we first arrived. The sun has come out, beautiful weather, the birds are chirping. It's a beautiful night.
No promises your lure is making it home.
Sweet, okay, they're running still. For dinner tonight, we need to catch some fish. The target is mackerel.
Yeah.
As you know, last video I was using them for bait, but it's also a really tasty fish to eat. It's a dark meat, it's very oily, and it kind of tastes like chicken. Also a beautiful fish. Mackerel are the ultimate bait fish for all the fish of the ocean. They school typically in thousands, and they migrate around, so there's not always a mackerel run happening. Hold them up, the catch of the night.
My jewelry. Yeah, I've got this Primus stove. I've only used it a handful of times.
As the base, we went with a coconut jasmine rice. Oh yeah.
Mackerel cook quick, so I didn't have much time here. I patted them dry, added a little salt and pepper, threw in more butter, capers, a lemon squeeze, and then finished it with a sweet chili sauce to bring it all together.
Top marks on plating the forked tail.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going in.
There might be bones in there.
That's fine. Okay, the mackerel sweet chili combo works, definitely. Yep. A little bit of tart from the capers. I can dig this.
Okay. I was flying through recipes last night online, found this one, seemed pretty easy. It's not bad. The seals we have around here are harbor seals and gray seals. In some places in Quebec, they call seals marine wolves. And that's because they make a similar sound to a wolf.
I was really impressed with your tuck tape repair for the cracked coffee press. The doctor recommended rum cream for our coffees.
It's always a treat when we get a little JD show in the morning.
Our route is largely exposed today, as it was yesterday too, coming out of Halifax Harbour. As soon as we rounded Chebucto Head, we're basically in the middle of the Atlantic. The ocean swell is going to be coming today from the south at about 1.2 meters. So yeah, when we're sitting down in our kayaks, if someone's in a trough and there's a swell in between and the other person's in a trough, we're probably not going to be able to see each other. Our crossings today, we'll be heading from Sambro Island to Pennant Point, and you know, we're not going to be all that near shore for about 8 kilometers or maybe 2 hours. We don't get any refuge from the exposure of the swell until we get into some of the islands in Prospect. From what we can see, we think we can handle it. Should be a fun day. Bit of swell, bit of wind, and give her.
The worst waves are leaving the island, but there's still significant swell out here. There's not a lot of white caps, and we're just staying away from rogue waves the best we can.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if
You see a spot, we can do it. We've been on the water for about 2 hours and we made it to land. We both got to pee. No real good landing spots. No beaches, just cobble.
We're doing it. He's in.
Yeah. Landing's one thing, but now we gotta get back out.
So yeah, we're gonna wait for the big set waves to go through. We'll kind of have our boats staged at the edge of the seaweed. It'll be slippery enough. Get in our boats, button our skirts on, and then kind of shove down at a time like this when we got a bit of water coming in, but it's not a massive wave. And then use that shove off to get out through a calm set. If we try it on the wrong set, we're gonna get a big wave crashing on us.
Like this one right here.
This one right here. Not too much. Wow. Okay, how is Mikey gonna get out there by himself?
You made that look so easy.
Giant rock at the point and on the far side of it. Got a lot of crashing water and kind of a surf wave. But then I see a potential sneak line. I think if we time it right, we can make it through there without having to go way out and around the headland. Big wave behind.
If there's a will, there's a way. Okay. Okay.
Just making sure you got in safe.
If you're ready for another day, we're gonna try and stand up.
Yeah, it was a long day this morning.
And later on the Instagram.
I will tag.
Nice to see you guys.
Yeah.
Peace.
Until next year. It's a little rocky around the corner.
All right, it's 4:45, and we had a bit of a break there. We ran into some friends, had a couple beers, had some snacks. We had to leave because we still got some kilometers ahead of us. It's about 2 hours to the campsite for tonight, and it's gonna take a moment for me to get back into it.
In case you weren't aware, there are waves.
All right, coming on 7 o'clock. Found some protection behind this island here. It's still really rough out there, but it's hard to believe that, being back here.
Made it to camp. Wild day on the water. Cracked a couple beers. To stay on brand, I went with the sea glass since we're on the sea. I think it's ready. For dinner, we're going with a Moonlit Mountain Greek lamb stew. One of my top flavors from these guys. As you know, I've been rocking with them for a few years now. Really good freeze-dried food. And who else does lamb? That's gourmet.
Handrail the shoreline, go to Peggy's Cove.
This entire island, as well as most of the coastline that we're traveling on this trip, is all granite. And that's part of the South Mountain batholith. A batholith is an igneous intrusive rock. This formed about 400 million years ago during one of the orogeny events of the Appalachian mountain range. And that's a fancy word for saying a mountain building process. When plates collide, they push up, creating elevation. But what's happening below the surface is there's a lot of heat and pressure. And a lot of that rock melts and mixes with the mantle, creating a liquid that then gets pushed to the surface. And as it comes up, it hardens, creating an intrusive igneous rock, which is the South Mountain batholith in this case. Oh, thank you, sir.
I didn't put any creamer in yet. Trying to get a hold of Lucas and Danny to coordinate our meetup for tomorrow morning.
We're still planning the trip as we're on the trip.
Yeah.
Way out in the distance, there's a small island, and that's Pearl Island, which we're going to be trying to get to in about a day and a half's time. It's hard to tell how far it is, but looking at a map, it's about 20K from where we are right now. We will be able to inch closer before we leave land tomorrow, but that island is way out there. Sweet.
So for this journey, we knew that we might have some landings that might be a bit precarious. And so the kayaks we've selected today are made by P&H Performance Sea Kayaks from the UK. And so they make a roto-molded polyethylene boat that's quite durable. It's a 3-layer and it's called their Coralite material. Noah's in the Scorpio right now. It's a 17-foot 3, and I'm in the Leo, which is a 16-foot boat, both capable of sort of a week's worth of stuff or more. If we had less gear on and wanted to surf and play, we could be doing that too. Old Creel sells these P&H Sea Kayaks. Come test paddle them, try before you buy, and yeah, if you want to order a custom composite one, let us know. We'll have an order coming in for spring.
How's your body feeling?
Not too bad. Yeah, all things considered. Like I had a bit of a knot in my butt.
This morning we're going to visit probably the most touristy destination in Nova Scotia. Hint, it's a lighthouse. This one should get you here. Nice. We are at Peggy's Cove, the most touristy lighthouse in the province, arguably the most touristy destination in the province.
Mint chocolate chip. Actually, I was surprised to find it. It hasn't been a common flavor because Farmers Dairy took it off their roster 2 summers ago. You went with some pretty classic kid flavors.
Yeah. We're coming up to St. Margaret's Bay, and it's a significant crossing, about 5K. Weather's perfect for it. The more south we go down the coast, the more sharks there are. Over the last couple of years, there's been more sightings. This year was the first time a surfer got attacked by a shark. I don't know if it's just more people being aware that there's sharks, or if the warmer water is bringing the sharks up up the coast to Nova Scotia.
Your banana ration, good sir. That was one of the cruisiest sections of paddling I've done in a long time.
Wave line. You alright?
Oh yeah.
Stop for a pee break. That was a long crossing plus a little extension at the end. Landed on this different island. We've just left the granites, the South Mountain batholith, and we're back in that metasedimentary rock, which is known as the Maguma terrain.
Snoozeville, population me. Pretty favorable forecast. Very, very light winds, maybe a little offshore this morning, and then they shift to come back onshore. We'll see a little bit of breeze in the afternoon pushing us back into Blue Rocks, so very low sea state. It's a good day for paddling.
Hoping that the fog dies off today. So we had the biggest crossing of this entire trip, and it's all designed around seeing Pearl Island. We've been looking at Pearl Island on a map for quite some time. It's the farthest island out of the Chester Basin. And for this, we have two buddies going to be joining us, both really good sea kayakers. Going to be for a good day. Morning. There he is. Nice to see you.
How's it going?
I'm done. Finally doing this.
Yeah. I've been wanting to do this since I started working at Pleasant Paddling 9 years ago.
Hey. How's it going?
How are you?
Nice to see you again. Glad to have you for this part.
Glad to be here, for sure.
And that gives you grip.
I learned this from my buddy, and it's probably better when you're surfing and you've got more chance of losing a paddle grip. He was a guide in New Brunswick, but personally, I love it. I wouldn't do it any other way now. So much better grip on the blade, on the shaft.
And what do you call it?
I call it shaft wax. Get a grip.
Nice. Cloud bow. Oh yeah, that's pretty obvious now.
Yeah.
So we've just been paddling into the abyss. We're surrounded by fog, we can't see any land, but it's dead calm. It's sort of eerie. It's like we're in a fever dream or something. We're following a compass bearing and just paddling in the general direction. Every once in a while there's some mackerel rising around us. Pretty magical. Our first island hop is East Ironbound, which people live on actually. Seeing a dozen houses. Pretty isolated from the mainland.
Welcome to East Ironbound.
They probably have their own rules out here. So we're just taking a little tour of East Ironbound Island. We talked to some of the locals. It is 100% privately owned. So they said just respect the area, stay on the trails, don't go in anyone's houses, which apparently some tourists have done. People live here all year round, and I guess it's a big enough community that you can help out your neighbor and get things done. So the first lighthouse was built here in 1867. It burnt down, and they rebuilt a new one on the other side of the island, which is this right here. This is one of a few on our lighthouse tour.
From the shore, it's 11.5, and it was 4.5 to
So
here.
another 8 kilometers.
A boat just came out of the fog, and it's honking its horn coming right at us.
Apple, and we got a fruit punch.
Yes, I'd take an apple.
Headwinds. So I was hearing.
Oh, yeah.
Little rendezvous juice break.
Heck yeah. Nope, you missed it.
You crushed that, eh?
Okay, we'll talk to you in a bit.
No straw required.
No straw. This paper straw.
Something on the surface that had 2 fins coming out. It wasn't that big. It was probably only like this big, but it was like, or maybe a little bigger. It could have been a sunfish or a shark. I want to lean towards shark.
Me too.
Where? Right where you're going.
Okay. I don't know what the great white sharks are doing out here, but there's a lot of sharks that have been seen in this area as well. 12 to 16 foot great white sharks cruise around Pearl Island. And it's calm enough that if we keep our eyes out, we might see a fin.
Wow, it's right in front of us. Look at that. Big cliff face right there. Wow, that came out of nowhere in like seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy. Here we are. We're on Pearl Island now, and behind me is the lighthouse. This lighthouse is a newer one. It's an automatic light. And Pearl Island was originally Green Island. We can see all the grass here is really green, and so originally it was named Green Island. After lighthouse was built in 1873, the lighthouse keeper, who was then Albert Pearl, moved to the island and was here for a long time. In 1962, the lighthouse keepers on East Ironbound noticed that the light wasn't flashing, and they sent a team out to investigate. When they came out here, they found a partially eaten meal, but there was no sign of Albert Pearl, and they never found his body. So the disappearance of Albert Pearl remains a mystery.
Today, all that remains is the foundation of one of the original structures and some old survey work. Being so remote, this island is also a great spot for ground nesting birds like the cormorant. Pearl is also known to have a puffin colony, but we didn't see any this time. But what makes this island really interesting to me is how sharky it is. The bathymetry surrounding the island features a steep shelf rapidly dropping from 20 to 70 feet. This makes it the ultimate ambushing spot for sharks. They swim around the island and wait for the seals to make the mistake of going out a little too far. Then, boom! Shark attack.
We just had a little lunch and a little explore around Pearl Island. And we're just leaving now to continue our journey to Blue Rocks. This is going to be the largest crossing of this trip. 14 kilometers of open ocean. Lots of seat time in the boat. But the visibility has gotten better. Wind has picked up a little too.
Spanish ladies, farewell and adieu to you ladies of Spain, for we've received orders to sail for old England, but we hope in a short time to see you again.
Land once again. Hey! All right, guys, we're just about wrapping this up. What an epic 4 days of sea kayaking. There are some really good conditions in the waves and the swell and beautiful camping on the islands. And overall, great company with Mike. This is our first time doing a trip, just the two of us. And I would say it was a success. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. We just hit 100,000 subscribers. All thanks to you. And if you're in Nova Scotia and you want to buy a kayak, canoe, or any sort of paddling gear, check out Old Creel Canoe and Kayak, run by Mike and his partner Crystal. Or if you want to go for a pleasant paddle here in Blue Rocks, check out Pleasant Paddling. Guys, thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Howdy.
Hey guys, you made it.
Yes.
I can't believe you guys went to Pearl.
Yeah.
I cannot believe you did it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.